Welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the year 2016. Now, some of you are probably still hungover, and some of you never stopped celebrating. And if you haven't stopped celebrating, keep on going. So, for this year, I'd first like to start off with some security news, mainly with AVG antivirus and how they were actually found some really huge flaws in their Chrome extension program, their web tune-up tool. A researcher at Google found that this particular extension by AVG actually disabled some key security features in Chrome, which actually put like over 9 million users' data at risk. And so, whenever this was made public, over the New Year's weekend, AVG did put out an update to plug this, but Google was just furious, and, this is actually, deservingly so, because a lot of times, especially with security related tools, we think that whenever we have these on there, we have an extra layer of security and, we can use our computers and especially the internet without having to worry about these things. But when a security flaw comes out like this and it's from a really big security company, it makes you really wonder whether or not you should even have these quote unquote security tools on here. And, I've talked about this in previous episodes, but security is a very big thing. I mean, back in the old days, it's mostly about securing your computer and the contents on it. Nowadays, it's mostly pretty much all on the internet. And, basically the scary thing about that is pretty much no matter what operating system you use, once you're on the internet, that's a free-for-all. I mean, that's basically nobody has control over the whole internet. And so in cases like this, I don't think you could have prepared for it because you wouldn't know. And, flaws like this, more of them are going to come out, especially when more and more people spend their lives on the internet. So, keep a watch out for these things. And, if there's any other security related news that I think would benefit people, would help, then I'll talk about that on this show. So, yeah, if you have that web tune-up extension on Chrome, take it off. So the second bit of news is Star Wars. Once again, I've had so many Star Wars posts, but it's something that you really can't avoid. Anyway, as of this time of posting, with this Monday, January 4th, 2016, Star Wars has actually made over $740 million in the domestic box office and over $1.5 billion internationally. Now, with that domestic number, it's already surpassed Titanic and Jurassic World, if I'm not mistaken. And it should surpass Avatar here in a few more days. And just remember, these numbers are not adjusted for inflation, but it's just huge. It's already surpassed the prequels, The Phantom Menace, and Episode 2. And so we're not sure how far this is going to go, but you can expect more records to be broken. And my prediction is it's probably going to get to $2 billion for sure. But it has a very good chance of surpassing both Titanic and Avatar, which are the top two highest grossing, not adjusting for inflation. And, it's definitely a good thing for Disney and all the Star Wars franchises, because that basically they can make a lot more Star Wars related stuff because they have a lot more money now. So look forward to seeing how far this goes. And like I said, if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. You probably already have. So the final bit of news that I had for 2016 is actually some very sad news. In previous videos, and I'll probably talk about this on a regular basis, I really love Linux. My favorite distribution is Linux Mint. And some really sad news is the founder of Debian, Ian Murdoch, he actually died over the weekend, and he was 42 years old. Now, if you're not familiar with what Debian is, a lot of the most popular distributions, Linux distributions, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, all of them, they're all based upon the Debian version of Linux. And the details of his death are not really clear, but he was really a huge impact on the Linux community. He created, back in 1993, one of the first app stores for an operating system, a desktop operating system, before the app stores was ever created for Apple iPhones. And so, yeah, it is really sad news. He left a huge contribution to not only the Linux community, but also the technology community as a whole. So, that is some sad news. I'm really thankful for the work that he's done. And so that's pretty much it for this very first episode in 2016 for GeekOutdoors.com. And if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe And for full written blogs, episodes, and additional content, be sure to head out to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.